Aghati karma remaining. So Arihant Bhagwan has only got 4 Ghati karma remaining, and so he is the highest in this sansar, and Siddh Bhagwan is actually the highest in 2 sense. Now he has got he's no longer a gender, so the soul no longer has any karma. It can be ghati, it can be aghati, which we haven't learned yet, but this is just to make you familiarize with the names. Why we are reciting this prayer? It's because you already know the names of Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. But Siddh Bhagwan is the highest. But how come in the prayer we start with Namo Arihantaram? Why don't we say Namo Siddharam? Then why don't we say Namo Arihantaram?
Why do you say Namo Arihantaram first?
Because he's the one that tells us everything.
Say it loudly, you said it right.
Because he's the one that tells us all the information that we need.
Well done. You really are a very smart girl and you remember a lot of things. So well done for that. Okay, so and your answer is absolutely 100% correct. That although Siddh is the highest, the reason why we say Namo Arihantanam, because he's the one who's preaching to us. So out of our what do you say, good heart, or maybe out of our goodwill, we say Namo Arihantanam first, but the reality is that it is Namo Siddharam which is first. But because he has given us so much, we are appreciating him. We are appreciating him by saying Namo Arihantanam and then Namo Siddhar. Okay, so when you are pronouncing the words, you have made a lot of improvement since the first class. But it is not Siddhanam, Siddhanam, because these are not English words. These are actually Sanskrit words, which I'm sure your Nani will help you now to learn Gujarati a little bit, little bit. You, at least if you start to get familiarized, because imagine if I called your name as Fiani, you will feel a bit odd. That that's not my name. I mean, it's not pronounced in that way. And imagine if I talk like somebody, like a villager, for example, instead of saying Vishal, imagine if I said Bisal, so, we will not like it. So, also in that same way, when we're talking in Gujarati or in Hindi, we deserve, the language deserves to be pronounced in the correct way. So you're doing extremely well because you have learned so much in just a few classes. And now a little bit more we can learn with the help of your Nani, who has been so kind enough to assist us. So we are really grateful that, she's giving her time to, help you. Okay, so now let's start with the test. So are you prepared for the test?
Yeah.
I think Briella is prepared.
Prepared?
Okay, so we will have an open book test. You can keep it open because we want to test your understanding and not really how much you have learned, like how much you've memorized, but we just want to test your understanding. You can just start to like memorize some of the things which might appear in the test as the book opens.
Did you want me to open share the screen?
Yes, please. Yeah, yes, please. If you can open it, we can have an open book test.
Oh, you need to let me allow to share screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay, 1 sec. Okay, done. Okay, so this book has been written by Pandit Gopal Dasji Bharaiya. Anybody knows the story of this man? Okay, so we will learn about this man, and you will be happy to learn that, well, this is what I have heard, that he has also attained Samyak Darshan. So you will be happy to learn that this man whose book you are reading today, after, I don't know, maybe 200 years of writing, so this man has attained Samyak Darshan. Okay, now let's scroll down. Okay, so let's start with Briella. Briella, how many substances are there in this universe?
You don't have to look. You know the 6 substances. How many substances?
6.
Yeah. Please name them.
Jeev, Bhutga, Tirmastika, Atarmastika, Akash, and Kal.
Good girl. Okay, now substance. Now we will go to Vishal. Don't look at the definition, but try to get it as accurate as possible, if not 100% correct.
So basically defining substance.
No, state the definition of Dravya.
Yeah, so the definition of Dravya is the mass of infinite attributes, or gun is called substance.
Good. Okay, and in Gujarati, gunono samuhane dravya kehvai. So Vishal, because you are very fluent in Hindi and in Gujarati, so gunono samuha ne dravya kehvai. So
Dravya kehvai.
Gunono samuha, and you will be pleased to learn that you know they have given us dravya drashti in the first question, meaning in the Gujarati book, and in this book it is the second one. But you will be so happy to learn that, you know, this writer has viewed his audience or his readers so of like high caliber, that he has given like Dravya Drashti, meaning how to experience the soul, in the first question in the Gujarati book, and in this English book it is the second question. Kalpana Ben, ji book tamari પાસે છે, the one you showed me, Emma, it is the first question.
હાજી, વિશ્વ કોને કહે છે?
હા, પ્રશ્નોત્તર માળા. હા.
હાજી.
Then it is a second question. Okay, ha. Fine. Okay, attribute. Okay, fine. So now we ask the slightly harder one to Fiana. Try not to look at it. Try to understand and say what you have got from all these classes.
Okay.
About?
I try not to look.
Okay.
So what is the question?
What is the attribute?
The definition.
Definition of an attribute or gun.
Attribute. So the definition of an attribute.
That's right.
Like
Gun.
it's. You mean this?
No, the gun.
It's like
attribute.
An object, like for
quality.
What?
Gun, attribute. What is the definition of attribute?
An attribute is like a thingy. What's it called?
Come on, you explain the way you did it.
How do you explain? How do you explain?
What do you mean? How do you explain?
It's like what is it called?
Right.
Okay, fine. Let me just read it quickly in English, and then your Nani can read in Gujarati. That quality which exists in all parts. In all parts. Remember, we did a drawing. In all parts. So it's in all Pradesh, in all the Pradesh of substance, and in all its modifications. Modifications is called pariyai.
Pariyai.
Modifications is called pariyai. So gun is that which exists in all parts, which is called Pradesh.
Every single part.
And it is in all its modifications, meaning pariyai. Now, Fiana, explain what you have grasped from this, because it is very important that you understand this.
What is it? It's like for instance, sugar is always sweet everywhere, like that thing.
Yes, explain properly. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like with a leaf, it doesn't feel like, on one side feels like cotton, one side feels like a plant. Everywhere feels like a plant.
Good girl. Well done. Okay. So how did we explain? For example, if this is the dravya, the whole thing has got one gun. It's not that Gnan is here, Darshan is here, Charitra is here, Virya is here. It's not like that. The whole Atma has got Gnan. The whole Atma has got Charitra. The whole Atma has got Darshan. The whole Atma has got Virya. So these are the gun. This is how they're spread out. We had learned one more thing. How are they spread out? Fiona, try to remember, and if not, then Vishal can answer. And if Briella remembers, very good.
How is it laid out? The gun.
It's
Remember?
everywhere.
No, I know, but what example did we show? Like she had
Like
explained.
from the hand and
Like
darshan.
like my hair. It doesn't feel like
No, not the hair, beta. It's about, remember you did the drawing where you had
Yeah,
the different colors,
the goon is everywhere.
all the different colors.
Yeah, look, Briella, it is laid out like this. It is laid out like this, meaning to say, what example did we use? Remember of a cake? We'd used an example of
Like the cream, the vanilla cream, then the caramel
No,
cream.
first strawberry.
The strawberry is the Pradesh.
yeah. No, she's actually right. First it is strawberries, and like there's a reason why there's strawberries first. Okay, so the reason was that this Pradesh in one dravya, there are asankhya Pradesh. In the soul, there are asankhya Pradesh. Asankhya means incountable. You can't count them. So
Numerable.
innumerable is also correct, but generally in some of the books, I mean, like this is what you read. Okay, so fine, you are also correct that it is innumerable. So the strawberries are one on the cake, meaning to say ek Pradesh, one Pradesh represent one Pradesh. One strawberry will like represent one Pradesh. On top of it, for example, first we have fresh cream. So that's one gun. Let's call it Gnan gun. On top of it, we put caramel, a layer of caramel. That's another gun. On top of it, we put chocolate sauce. That's the third gun. So imagine infinite like that. So we have only used 3 examples over here of Gnan, the Darshan, and Charitra. But imagine infinite layers. So we have only used 3 examples. Like we used fresh cream, we used caramel, and we used chocolate sauce. Just to explain. Now I have given you a hint. Now explain to me what we had explained to you giving that example.
Like what?
Using that example of a cake, where you have all these layers and then you have the Pradesh on top.
No, you have the Pradesh and then the layer.
Yeah, no, she's actually right for explanation's sake. Yeah. So meaning to say, in each Pradesh, all the guns are in each Pradesh, not the whole gun, but a part, a very, very, very small part. A very, very small part is sitting on each Pradesh.
Yeah, so because the strawberry, if you take the same example of a strawberry on the cake, it has all the layers are touching the strawberry, because
Yeah.
a little bit. Is a whole cake layer touching the strawberry, or only a small? Just a teeny bit. That's it.
Yeah, a tiny bit. So there'll be a tiny bit of strawberry, of fresh cream, a tiny bit of caramel, and a tiny bit of chocolate sauce on each strawberry. So meaning to say, each Pradesh has got a very, very minute, like how they would say, like the smallest part can be on one Pradesh. Is that making sense? So that quality which exists in all parts, special units, pradesh of the substance and all its modifications. So you have to visualize what you are studying, because otherwise it'll be like theoretical material. And the reason why we're learning this, we want to experience the soul. And if you want to experience something, we have to see it, like in the mind. We have to visualize something, because the soul we cannot see the soul. We can only understand the soul.
So I have a question for the girls. So how many, if you take the example of the strawberry, how many strawberries are there in reality? Not the cake, but how many are there?
How many?
How many pradesh are there?
20.
No, go ahead. No. Say it. What? One? No.
No. I think
You used a word. Remember,
used
I
what?
said one word and then you said another word, Fiona.
How many strawberries are there?
I said like
Innumerable.
Innumerable. And how
Good
many
girl.
layers are there?
Infinite.
Infinite.
No, infinite, not innumerable, infinite. How many layers are there? So imagine that the cake makers have to be so creative that they cannot really have infinite. So imagine the soul is something so creative, meaning to say it is something so amazing, it is something so great that it has got infinite gun. Can you think of anything in the universe which has got infinite gun? Nothing, really speaking, because we can count. Imagine if we like somebody's dress, we will say, oh, this and this and this. But then we will reach a limit where we'll say, okay, so we have reached to maybe 100. Imagine if you go to see a beautiful sight somewhere when you go traveling. You might like something about that sight, but again, when you start to count the gun, you might reach 500. And then you might stop. But can you start to visualize? Because anybody after the age of 8 can experience the soul. So you are capable. Don't ever think that you're children. You are capable to experience the soul. Who knows, you might even do it before any one of us. So, take this in like a very visual sense. Whatever we are learning, it might sit, it might not sit, but whatever sits, try to ponder on it, try to think about it, whatever you have understood. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Modification, Paryay. Vishal can answer without seeing.
So you're talking about the definition of paryay.
Yeah, definition and explain whatever you have understood.
Yeah, so it's basically like the modification or change or manifestation of any of the attributes. That's what's paryay. And the way I understood it is from the example, I think, and when we did the lecture on Mahavir Swami, it said, Mahavir Swami das gun pela in 10 bhava ago, he was in the paryay, he was in the modification of a lion. So that's the way I kind of, that's the example that comes to mind when I think about it for our paryay.
Very good, well done. Okay, let's move on to the next question. How many kinds of attributes are there?
Fiona?
Samanya and Vishesh. Okay, so what are in the Samanya of the soul? Which one are there? Let me say that again. In the Samanya of all 6 substances,
Yeah.
name the 6.
Fiona?
Just Briella can Briella can name the 6.
Briella,
In
6. You want to do it? Okay.
You can if you want.
Okay.
no, I have asked the question to Briella. Read it, Briella.
Where?
The common attributes.
Asita.
Say it loudly.
Asita. Vasupa. Dravya.
Bhavyatva.
Yatva,
Mayatva.
Pramyatva,
Agurutva.
Pradeshva,
Pradeshatva.
Pradeshatva.
That's
Okay, let's read it one more time. Astitva. Say after me and pronounce it how I pronounce it. Astitva.
Astitva.
Good girl. Vastutva.
Vastutva.
Dravyatva.
Dravyutva.
Again, dravyatva.
Dravyatva.
Prameyatva.
Prameyatva.
Good. Agurula.
Agula.
A guru.
Agurulagutva.
Good. Agurulagutva and Pradeshatva.
Pradeshatva.
Okay, Pradeshatva. Okay, very good. Okay, so now Fiana, explain what is Astitva.
Astitva is the, I'm not looking. Existence of me, the existence, like that I know you are there. Like,
No.
How do you, like the
Try again.
thing, how do you explain it? It's really hard.
You-
Riela, try.
Really try.
What do you mean?
Astitva.
Astitva is.
Like the isness, like the ability
Yeah.
to be there.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, but you're mixing two definitions. You are giving, I mean, part of your answer is correct. Try again, Fiana.
Well, Astitva is the ability to be here,
The
like
I know.
right now.
The Astitva is
Astitva.
the Astitva is through that is here or the grass.
No, it's about creation. Think about like
Yeah, whatever's created cannot be destroyed. Yeah.
it's never destroyed and cannot be created.
But they can.
That's what I would have.
So you just exist. You are there. You are present. You are is. You
You
cannot be
are-
created. You
you are-
cannot be destroyed.
You're here for infinite time.
Yeah, good. You're here for infinite time. You can choose where you want to be. Do you want to be in Sansar for infinite time? Or do you want to be in a happy place? Because it is only Arihant and Siddh Bhagwan are 100% happy. And Acharya, Upadhyaya and Muni are partially happy. But we are not happy. So where do you want to be? So you have to now choose. Okay, let's scroll down to number 9. That potentiality or quality by virtue of which substance, sorry, scroll a bit up, I can't see it. Okay, that potentiality or quality by virtue of which the substance is never, look, they've used a word never, destroyed and can never be created, never. By anyone, so there's no one called God who created us, is called attribute. So I think this is clear, and we had talked quite in detail about it, why God can't create us. Simply because he's a knower and he doesn't do things. Because God is a knower, God is Siddh Bhagwan, and he doesn't do things. He only knows things. And imagine if God had created us, why would he make an unhappy world? Why would he make wars? Why would he make corona? Why will he make people poor? Why will he make people ill? I mean, it doesn't make sense that he just made this world to entertain him. So
That means he doesn't even have the right to be up there. If he
exactly. So I mean, somebody who's just using us, for his entertainment, he really doesn't have the right to be up there. So you are absolutely right over there that he doesn't have the right, but the reality is that there is no one who is created, not just the soul, but also this body which you're seeing over here, the matter particles. Because what happens to this body? Fiana, imagine if my body or anybody's body is burnt, what happens to that body?
Body, it turns into ashes, and then it maybe gets thrown into soil, and then the soil gets consumed up by plants, and it goes on and on and on.
Good. Briella, what happens to the body when it burns?
It dies.
Good. It dies, and then what happens?
The soul transfers to a
Different body. It could be a plant. It could be
depending on the
a
color.
different. A frog. It could be a butterfly.
Well done. So look, you are now understanding that the soul keeps on moving and moving and moving and moving. So well done. Okay. So now, so now the next one. Okay. So we have a little bit of homework for all three of you. I think more for the girls than Vishal, to now start learning a little bit of Gujarati. Because if you read a little bit in Gujarati, you see the bhav comes, the feeling comes. When even I'm reading this, although I'm explaining it to you, maybe certain words are not coming in feeling. So just a few words, if you can start to learn with your nani, it'll be helpful. Okay, so now next one,
I think Priyala has a
Vastutva.
question. Priyala, what is
Yeah,
the question?
Priyala, go on.
Mama taught me about when there's like one line or two line, it sounds different.
What?
In Gujarati.
In Gujarati, the lines. Okay, yes. He's talking about matra. Gujarati ni matra ni વાત કરે છે.
I didn't understand, sorry.
ગુજરાતી ની માત્રા એટલે she learned કે ગુજરાતી માં કેટલી લીટીઓ હોય એના બેસિસ પર
Okay.
અલગ અલગ માત્રા હોય એમ.
Okay, like ka, ki, okay, fine.
હા એ yeah.
Ooh, okay, fine, good. Okay, define Vastutva. Now Vishal can try this.
So Vastutva is the quality by which, the virtue of which the substance has a function, its own specific function or action. That is what is called Vastutva. So
what is the Vastutva for Atma, the soul?
it's to have knowledge, to be happy.
To be, okay, yeah. So the specific function of the soul is to know.
To know, yeah. And have the knowledge.
Who jarnar chu.
Yeah.
So I think this is Fiana's favorite line. Okay, I am a knower. So what is the specific function of the soul, Fiana?
The specific function of the soul, like what it's
No.
to know.
Say it loudly.
To know.
Yes, okay, good. Okay, next, Dravyatva. Let's move on. Okay, so anybody can answer this. Fiana, Briella.
One question,
Anybody?
Komal, just quickly. So I know we talked about Vastutva, we talked about Vastutva, and that's a common attribute. But there's a specific attribute for the Jeev, which is knowledge as well.
Yes.
So what is the Vastutva for the soul? I guess it sits in the common attribute as well as in the specific attribute, it seems.
Okay, so that's a good point that you pointed out. I think I was just thinking about the soul. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a good point that you brought up, that you are right actually. The specific function will not be to know over here in this case, because that will fall into Vishesh Gun.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is any like Vastutva for that. The confusing part, we talk about that all 6 substances has these common guns.
Attributes.
So then,
yes.
What is a common gun? I guess I'm trying to figure that out, right? Vastutva.
Yeah. Sorry about that, because we were talking about the soul, and that's the first thing that came to my mind.
But I'm confused. I still have an open question about that, right? Because we say that Jeev as a substance also has these common attributes that are described here. All of these.
Yes.
How would we understand that from a standpoint of a soul, right? Because every time I think of soul, I think of knowledge, sukh, those things which are more specific ones.
Vishesh.
Yeah, the Vishesh. So Samanya, how do we explain Samanya?
The specific function of all substances is perhaps to be.
To be. Okay.
To be, meaning, I mean they are you see
present.
Sorry, go on.
They're present, they're there.
They're present. Okay. Anything else? Kalpana, please add.
Yeah, let me just a little bit interrupt. Ama Vastutwanu, what they have given ke Vastutva એવું નામ સાથી છે. Why is the name Vastu? જેમાં ગુણ પર્યાય વસે છે તેને વસ્તુ કહે છે. And then જેમાં સામાન્ય વિશેષ સ્વભાવ હોય તેને વસ્તુ કહે છે. So વસ્તુત્વ means એમાં સામાન્ય અને વિશેષ બેવ હોય.
Oh, બેવ.
જેમાં ગુણ અને પર્યાય વસે છે તેને વસ્તુ કહે છે. This is from Gomatsar Jeev Kand.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, so this is just to, I'm sorry to
Okay,
interrupt, but
good. So, okay, now, Vishal, just to explain to you what is Samanya and like what is Vishesh. Samanya here is the dhruv part, meaning to say that's the dhruv part, which is the constant part, and the Vishesh, which was given in this definition, is the paryay part.
Okay.
Is that making sense?
No, I'll have to process, ponder a little bit. It's a little heavy for me.
Okay, let's okay, fine. Let's move on with this because otherwise we'll get distracted from this lesson. But we will touch on that once we come to that.
Okay.
Okay, Prameyatva. Okay, now Fiona, try to remember what we had talked about.
You mean like before?
No. What do you understand by prameyatva?
Pramyatva is like the ability to know about stuff.
So I think earlier you tried to, when you were explaining about astitva, you were defining prameyatva a bit. Am I right?
Yeah.
So remember you were trying to explain like how you describe astitva. Think about how you were describing astitva. It's the same definition. So try it again.
So to explain astitva,
You use something before
to be the ability to be here.
or to know that. You remember you said, "Oh, come on, I can see you. Like I know you there." That you kind of were explaining that, right?
That like I know about like that this book is here. I know that my dad is next to me. I know that Brielle is in the bathroom and stuff like that.
Okay, it is partially correct what you have understood. Kalpana Ben, please read the Gujarati.
yes, basically પ્રમેયત્વ એટલે કે જે શક્તિ જે એના કારણે દ્રવ્ય કોઈને કોઈ જ્ઞાનનો વિષય હોય તેને પ્રમેયત્વ ગુણ કહે છે. એટલે જેના કારણે દ્રવ્ય કોઈને જ્ઞાનનો વિષય બનાવે છે. This is what it is basically.
Okay, so Fiona, for your understanding that gnano vishay. Okay, so like Briella is like a subject in your gnan. That, for example, she's not in this room, but she's in another room. And the other example you gave is that you can see me. Although you are far away from me, you have made me a subject in your gnan, and you can see me. And the other thing is, go on, Kalpana Ben.
Yeah, basically always તમારા in your mind you'll always create a figure. તમે વિષય any subject will be in your mind. That is because of the પ્રમેયત્વ ગુણ. Any subject will become an object. તમને દેખાય કોઈ બી subject. I mean કોઈ બી દ્રવ્ય એ વિષય બને આપણા knowledge નો. That is what is Pramyatva.
Yeah, that is true. And there's one more point as well. Now, Vishal, see, you have raised an important point. See, it is only Atma which can know, but the remaining 5 substances can't know. Right?
Correct.
But they have that gun in them called Pramyatva, which allows them to be known.
Yeah, so it
Right?
is the ability that we are able to know ke logo che. That is the gun we are talking about when we talk about Pramyatva, because every single item, including Akash and Kal, because they all have the ability of coming in our vision, I guess, or being able to be seen or known, not seen. That's why they have Pramyatva as well, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they have a gun in them which enables other substances to know them.
I see. Okay.
You can see this body sitting over here, and this Pudgal sitting here has that ability in it to allow it to be known. And so the soul of you can see it.
Got it.
Or
now,
can know it.
So now I do have another follow-up question, because this was confusing me. Dharmastikai and adharmastikai.
Yeah.
How do we know that it's like, that's what I'm trying to like visualize, like in my head, right? Is it We just know that it happens, or how? Like that's maybe you can clarify that.
I'm not understanding your question. That how do we know that it is there?
Yeah, because it has pramayatva as well, right? It's a common attribute.
See, you see, this is
એમાં રૂપી અરૂપી બેવ પદાર્થો આવે છે. એમાં રૂપી અરૂપી બેવ પદાર્થ. કારણ ધર્મસ્તિકા અધર્મસ્તિકા અરૂપી છે.
રૂપી
પણ
રૂપી.
એનામાં એક પ્રમેયત્વ ગુણ છે. They are arupi, right? They cannot be seen. Adharmastika, dharmastika, they cannot be seen, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, our internet connection was low over here. You might need to say it again.
Okay. Basically, dharmastika, adharmastika, they're arupi padarth, and but they do have the pramayatva gun in them. Okay. જેમ હવા ચાલે છે વિશાલભાઈ, હવા ચાલે છે, right? You cannot see it, but it is there, right? Because you feel it. તો તમે મૂવ થાવ છો તો એ તમને દેખાતો નથી, પણ એક્ઝિસ્ટન્સ છે એનું, એટલે તમે મૂવ થઈ શકો છો. એ અરૂપી છે, એટલે એનું 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 એનો શું
You
કહેવાય?
can't see it.
હા, પણ છે. જે રીતે
Gotcha.
હવા છે પણ દેખાતી નથી, પણ it is there. Same thing. ધર્મસ્તિકા અધર્મસ્તિકા છે, પણ એ લોકોનું રૂપી નથી. They are not એ લોકોનું વર્ણ નથી, દેખાતું નથી, પણ છે.
Even soul, you can't see it, but it is there.
Right. I see.
And then another just to add on it, in case if it clears your question, that some things are kevali gamya, meaning to say that some things we can just say it in speech, but the reality is you and me, we don't know anything more about it apart from what we have read. But the reality is that it is keval, like it is like kevali Bhagwan, who actually knows or who can actually see it, meaning to see in his gnan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stop now. I won't ask any more right now. Because
No, ask questions.
Yes.
Because we are not here to finish, we're here to understand. And the more you understand, the more you can you will have the power to understand the soul, and the main point is to understand the soul.
Yeah.
Because purusharth meaning effort, purusharth no matlab શું છે? Purusharth means to understand the soul. Purusharth does not mean to do something.
Yeah.
So ask as many questions as you wish. Okay, next one. Auguru Lagutva. Auguru Lagutva is an easy one. Fiona, please try, or maybe Briella can try, because this one is a bit of an easy one.
I can turn into a caterpillar.
so what does that mean? You cannot.
Like,
You can't change it to another attribute.
you can't turn into a plant.
You can't turn into something else. You can't turn into time. You can't turn into space. You can't turn into
Good. So that's one part, that a substance does not change into another substance. Good girl. Now, next part. Now understand the next part, because the next two are very important as well. Read it in case if you don't remember it.
So you talked about this one. A substance does not change on a substance. You talked about that. Now what about this one?
an attribute can't change into another attribute.
Give an example.
Like I can't turn into my
No. Give an example of attribute.
attribute. Like what is it called? What? Jeev can't turn into
The substance.
Jeev is a substance.
And Akash,
That's also substance.
So attribute is, for example,
Dravya can't turn into
Gnan cannot become into charitra. And charitra means conduct. And Gnan means knowledge. So knowledge cannot become into conduct. And conduct cannot become into faith, which is darshan.
And
But-
knowability can't turn into changeability.
I won.
Wait, hold on. Okay, can we apply the same thing with the attributes of Putkal, right? Also, right? Can there also
Yes.
so you can say touch, like taste cannot change into color like this.
Yeah.
And hearing can turn
Changeability
into smell.
attribute can't turn into knowability.
Briella, say that again. Hearing cannot change into.
Smell.
Good. Well
But-
done.
Say.
Touch cannot change into.
Sparsh cannot change into rang.
Well done. Good girl. Okay. So and so you have understood that part. And then read the third part.
Wait, where is
The,
it?
the,
The infinite attributes of a substance do not split or scatter into separate entities.
So meaning to say that the dravya, okay, fine. Fine, let's see what Priyala has to say. And then we try to understand. What does that mean? Read it again.
read this.
The infinite substance
Attributes.
attributes of a substance do not scatter or split into separate
Entities.
entities.
Entities means different substances, just to maybe make it a bit easier.
The soul,
Like
substances can not split up into four
mini
groups.
souls. Or
No,
they can turn into.
You're not getting it,
They
Bridge.
can
Let her
split
try to explain, please.
into two groups. They can split into 100 groups.
Yeah, okay, good. So two groups, or okay, let's take one group and not two groups. One group cannot split into 100 groups. Well done. So you have understood. So what it is trying to say, that if you've got infinite gun, the infinite gun cannot scatter. For example, in infinite, it cannot, like infinite, for example, this is infinite, it cannot scatter and become infinite separate substances. So it is trying to say that the infinite gun of any one substance, it can be dharmastikai, it can be akash, it can be kal, it can be jeev, it will never scatter. The infiniteness, or sorry, the infinite gun of any substance will always remain together. So Priyala, try to explain it one more time, because you did get your answer correct. Try and explain it one more time again.
One thing, one group can turn into 100 groups.
Yeah, one group cannot turn into 100 groups. So in this case, in this one group, how many gun are there? How many attributes are there?
Infinite.
Good. So there are infinite in this one group, which we call substance. Okay. Number 14. Fiona, is that clear? Okay. Next is pradeshatva, that potentiality or quality by virtue of which the substance always exists in some shape or form. So remember, you had to do some drawing.
Yeah.
More drawing.
No, you did one drawing before.
Remember, you to do some drawing
Yeah.
of like two shapes. Remember, you did some drawing.
Yeah, like the standing.
And the Padmasan.
So Siddha Bhagwan has got two shapes. What are the two shapes, Briella?
Remember the two shapes you drew?
Standing.
And the other one?
Sitting like
Folded.
Yes, in like, not in folded legs exactly, because that is called like the normal folded legs, but he sits in like Padmasan. So, okay, so fine, let's just say in like a easier way that it is folded legs, but but he's actually in crossed legs, meaning if you can see the picture, maybe you will understand better. So is that clear? So Briella, does Siddha Bhagwan have body?
what?
Sorry, what was that?
Because yeah, because you say that he is sitting in cross-legged. So does he have a body?
No.
Then why did you say cross-legged?
Because that's the shape of the soul.
That's the shape of the what?
The soul.
The shape of
Good. Yeah, that's the shape of the soul without the body. So that must be very clear when you can see it in your mind. only then you will understand that the Siddh Bhagwan has just got that shape, but the reality is that the body, the eyes, nose, legs is not there. So, okay, so now the substance always exists in some shape or form. Now let's take Pudgal, because we talked about soul in like the natural state, which is the Siddh Bhagwan. Now let's take substance Pudgal. So give an example. This is so simple. This is totally simple. So whoever wants to answer, whoever answers first will get 5 points.
Like
Yeah.
what are you showing?
A phone.
So it's like shape of a phone.
Yeah.
The shape
Okay.
or
So
shape of the
so exactly. So that's okay. So then something else. Vishal, you're slower than the girls.
No, I am. They are ahead of me.
And the shape of this box is a rectangle.
Okay, good. So imagine that there's a body of a female. That's one shape. Another shape is that the
Elephant,
matter particles are. Sorry, go on, Vishal.
like an elephant in the shape of
Elephant. Yeah, elephant. And then anything else?
It was a spider.
a spider.
There's so much more to say. Like
The
a
glasses
paper, a human.
Okay, and then okay, and then what is the shape of Dharmastikai and Adharmastikai? This is also very simple.
The shape of Dharmastika. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and Adharmastikai, because both have the same shape.
How can things you can't see?
I don't think they have a shape. No, they don't have a shape.
They do, because look, it's saying all 6 substances have a shape.
How when you can't even see it?
Just because you cannot
So-
see it doesn't mean it doesn't have a shape.
It has a shape, and the answer is, how
Is it-
does the universe look like? How does the universe look like the Jain universe?
Jane,
So fine. So now that's your homework. That's your homework
it's
to like to understand or to identify the shape of Dharmastikai and Adharmastikai. 15. How many kinds of substances are there? 6, so which Briella has already answered. So let's go on to 16. Specific attributes, so the power of knowing. I mean, these are the specific attributes of the soul, power of knowing. Samyaktva, Charitra, next. Charitra and Sukh. So is this clear? Is this clear, or like do we need to expand on this? Briella, is this clear to you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so are you happy?
Yes.
Then you've not understood. Okay, so who are you? So who are you, Briella?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Briella.
No.
You're what?
I saw.
A soul.
Okay, so if you're a soul, then you're happy. But if you're Briella, are you happy?
No.
Why?
You don't have true happiness.
Sorry?
You don't have true happiness.
You don't have true happiness.
No. Because Pudgal meaning this body, doesn't have any attribute or gun called Sukh.
Nah.
the
So
body.
are you a body or are you a soul?
Who are
I
you?
saw.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No, I think you're Briella.
Say.
No, I'm not. I'm a soul. The body is a mask.
Sorry, what did you say?
The body is just a mask.
The body is just a
Yes. Yeah, the body is just a mask. Good girl. Okay, so the body is just a mask. So you are, if you are a soul, then you have the attribute called Sukh. But if you are Briella, the matter particles, then you do not have the attribute called Sukh. Fiona, is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
If your name, like if I'm Fiona, then I don't have Sukh. But if I'm a soul, then I have Sukh.
Because I have put me, like the word me, I have put it in Komal. I have not put it yet in soul. I'm only saying it in words. But when I really put it in soul, that is when I experience happiness. Is that making sense? Briella, I mean, sorry, Fiona,
Yeah.
is that making sense?
Yeah.
Is that easy or is that difficult?
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, so you have to think on these questions, because anyway, you are doing something very nice in the morning and in the evening, you are thinking about the soul. So you have now got more things to think about. Okay, so now specific attributes of matter particles quickly: touch, taste, smell, odor, color, and Kriyavati Shakti, which is for both soul and for Pudgal. What example did we use? Okay, I will quickly give you a hint because we don't have too much time. I gave you a hint that somebody drops you to school.
They don't actually drop you off to school. It just coincidentally you're just going to coincidentally.
You need to talk properly, talk loudly, please. So you
Then
can.
with the in the like the bus, that's all. Then you go with the bus.
You're just coincident. Your particles are moving
With
at the same time that your bus is moving.
Yes.
school bus.
So meaning to say that the body has its own Kriyavati Shakti, the bus has its own Kriyavati Shakti, you, the soul, have got your own Kriyavati Shakti, the wheels have got their own Kriyavati Shakti. So can you imagine, there are so many things happening at the same time and we think that the driver is driving. So the driver has a body, and the driver is the body of the driver, which is matter particles, has its own Kriyavati Shakti. The soul of the driver has its own Kriyavati Shakti, and we are all moving together. So it's like in an aeroplane as well. In an aeroplane, there might be approximately 80 to 90 people, or maybe more. So maybe the 100 people have got their soul, which has its own Kriyavati Shakti. The body has its own Kriyavati Shakti. The airplane has its own Kriyavati Shakti. The pilot, the co-pilot, the air hostesses have their own Kriyavati Shakti, the body. And the souls of the pilot, co-pilot, and the air hostesses have their own Kriyavati Shakti. So many people are moving together, and we think that the pilot is driving. So it just makes us think that we forget how much power I have as an individual, meaning the soul, but I'm giving credit to somebody else. Is that making sense, Briella? I think you're very powerful, Briella. Yeah, so you are indeed very powerful. Fiona, you're indeed very powerful.
Daddy,
It's not, yeah, and also your dad is indeed very powerful. Okay, so we will have to stop over here. How many have we finished? I think we finished 17 questions.
16.
16 we have finished, so we have got another maybe 17 questions remaining to just do a quick revision. But you have a lot to think about, because if you think about these things, then the next 17 questions will become very easy, and then we can quickly go through the 17 questions. Okay, so everyone did really well today, and thank you, Kalpana Ben, for assisting us. There's a request that if you can take a Gujarati class as per your convenience. If you take one, let me know as well. I can always ask other children to join. So that other children can benefit as well from learning Gujarati. Because it is important that some of these words, we know the bhav behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So fine, let's stop for today, and we meet on next Wednesday, because I have to rush right now. Thank you, and we will see everybody on Saturday for Gurudev's Janma Jayanti. And Kalpana Ben, please spread the word, because these two young girls are extremely intelligent without a doubt, and they are
Absolutely, yes.
and they deserve so much what do you say, so much respect, simply for the fact that they're living so far away in a foreign land, and these two girls are making a tremendous effort, and their parents are making a greater effort than them. So let's appreciate them, and let's tell everybody what these two girls will be singing on Saturday. Okay,
Absolutely, definitely, yes.
Jai
Yeah,
Jinendra.
Vishal Bhai and you all deserve a great credit, man.
Yeah, thank you.